Cooking some mushroom soup today. It's a little cold outside, going to be a little cold outside for a little while to come, and maybe soup is a good idea. So I thought mushroom soup might be a great way to start out. And few ingredients, easy to do. It just takes a little bit of time, maybe 20 minutes, something like that. Not terrible. So I've showed you some mushrooms here. So they have different kinds of mushrooms. You've seen the brown ones before, the white cap mushrooms like that, but they also have, in some places, these extra special mushrooms, different shapes, a little different flavors. Very interesting looking. This should probably be at Snow White's house. This one looks like it should be at Snow White's house. And this one over here, I don't know where you're going to find these. You find these in the backyard once in a while. But we have these different kind of mushrooms, different flavors, so I put them all together. Now when you cook these, this is what they reduce to. We got them in the pot right now. Look how small this is, a little tiny amount. What we're going to do also, in the pan right next to it, I saved a couple of mushrooms as a little bit of a garnish for the soup when the soup is done. So we got all our mushrooms that are ready to go. And what we do is you cook the mushrooms in a little bit of butter, about 2 tablespoons of butter, and over medium heat, and they'll reduce all the way to this. And once all the water is gone, then you're going to add some onion. So I'm going to throw some onion in there. I'm going to stir that in. Smells pretty good. And then I'm going to put in some leeks. Now, if you haven't seen a leek before, or you don't know what you've seen them, and you don't know what to call them, a leek looks like a giant carrot, like a green carrot, and it's got a root on it, and you chop it up, and it's got an oniony kind of flavor, and it really works great in soups. So what we're trying to do here now is we're trying to get this all to reduce a little bit. We're going to throw some thyme in here, because it's time for thyme. And it's going to take about 5 minutes. So you're cooking all this on medium high, almost high, and it's going to reduce down. So when it reduces down, it comes time for another movement here. So we're going to put some butter in here. A little more butter. Get that in there. So what we want to do is we want to have a thick soup, right? So we're going to put a little flour in here. I'm going to turn the heat up too, since we're doing this we're doing this fast time. You don't do it this hot at home. I just want to show you how it works. So you put 3 tablespoons of flour in here, because you want your soup thick, right? And it's the flour that does it. But you want to put your flour in there long enough that it starts to cook. Now looking at this right now, you put the flour in when it's a little limper and a little more cooked than this. But see how it's mixing in there. The flour goes in there. And then what we want to do, so we want to put in some chicken stock. We're going to put 4 cups of chicken stock in there. And this is all, happening faster than it should, but this should show you how you thicken the soup. So when you put this chicken broth in there with the flour that's been cooked a little bit more than this and mixed together, you're going to create sort of what's called a roux, or thicken it up a little bit. It's going to give the soup some body. 4 cups, that's one of these little containers that you see all the time. You can use vegetable if you don't want to have a soup, if you want a vegetarian style soup. Easy to do. Okay, so you get that all together. And we want it sort of creamy, right? So we're going to add a cup of milk. And we're going to bring this all to like a bubbly boil, and then we're going to reduce the heat and cook it for about 20 minutes, and it's going to thicken up. So you get the idea. So you saw all the ingredients go in. Look around the table, we're looking good. And once in a while, you never know how much salt to put in, so you have to taste things as you go. So throw a pinch of salt in here, a little pepper once in a while. In fact, we'll throw a little pepper in here. Now, if this was as hot as it was supposed to be and we had real time going on here, what would happen is this would start to look pretty thick. I'd put a cover on it, and I'd leave it at like a hot simmer for about 20 minutes, and it would come out looking something like, I'm going to open up another one here. Turn off the fryer pan here, we go. And it's going to come out looking like this, believe it or not. But one thing you have to do in between that and this is you can take it out and put it in a blender. If you don't want to take it out and put it in a blender, get one of these. Okay, turn it on first, here we go. Oh, guess what? Somebody unplugged my blender stick. I don't think it was me either, to tell you the truth. Okay. So you put this in the soup. Let's do it a little bit. just like that. Our camera person jumped back because she thought she was going to get sprayed. But you just get it thickened like that, and it's ready to serve. And of course, the few mushrooms we put on the side ahead of time, that looks like this. These are going to be our garnish for the soup. So when we come back, we're going to put together a little bowl of soup for Natalie and see if it turned out tasteful.